Oh my God. Now everybody just wants 2K to be better, right? And that's what this video is for. That's what this video is about. Some changes that need to happen ASAP. We finna get into all the details. Y'all be sure to drop a like and drop a sub if you can. Now I need you guys' help here. Sound off in the comments section below changes that you think need to happen ASAP for 2K23. Things that need to be added or removed for NBA 2K24. I want to reference this tweet from Double H on changes that must take place for NBA 2K24. He says seasons needs to be removed. That's the first one on his list. The city also needs to be removed. Now, those are some huge changes. And I spoke about this very recently during a live stream. And the player base needs to be careful what we ask for, because I remember a time when we didn't get any type of rewards. Your grind to legend offered very little incentive aside from just getting the bragging rights for hitting legend. But for some reason in those previous versions of 2K, those bragging rights were well worth the effort, because everybody in the 2K community understand what you went through in order to grind for legends. So a good majority of the folks in the 2K community really respected that grind and showed that respect to mascots and legends alike. I mean, don't you guys remember the time when folks used to just crowd around you in the park? So considering the idea that legend doesn't really have the same value that it once had in the 2K community, I personally think seasons is a good thing. Maybe they need to rework how seasons are incorporated into the game, but the idea of just offering players incentives to play the game at no cost to the individual player will always be a good idea in my eyes. Now, when talking about the city being removed from 2K, I personally have mixed feelings about this, because I just think 2K incorporated the city improperly. When thinking of a city, you're thinking very lively. I personally grew up in the Lower East Side of New York City, and there was never a dull moment. But when you travel through the city in 2K, it is mind-numbingly dull. And 2K thought the way to fix this is just add a bunch of NPCs. But going from point A to point B after doing it the first time just seems boring. I think they should stick to like a menu system, where through the menu we can get to the Gatorade facility. Through the menu we can get to MyCourt. How about reintroducing MyCourt back into the game? I remember in older versions of 2K, we loaded up into the MyCourt. There you can start practicing instantly as soon as you load up, change your animations and all before you choose the option in the menu to go into the park. It just seems like previous versions of 2K had a good grasp on ease of access for the user. Maybe 2K feels like while you're traveling, you'll gain a closer connection with your player, but it just doesn't add up. So in my opinion, removing the city as it stands right now would be a very good thing. Less traveling and more ease of access. Since 2K has introduced the city to 2K games, I have yet to have any reason or any additional incentive to travel throughout the city. The third thing that Double H put on his list is the do everything build system removed. Now, over the last couple of 2Ks, I really enjoyed the build system and how 2K implemented that build system. But surely I believe that 2K and the devs need to just dive in a little deeper. I think 2K needs to trust the player base and understand that the player base is way smarter than they think. VC inflation reverse. Oh my God. VC inflation has gone through the roof. This year, one of my most popular videos was about the cost difference that you're paying out of pocket for bills versus previous versions of 2K. Over the last couple years, you guys have been paying way more and receiving way less. So in regards to VC inflation, Double H, you are right on target. That thing needs to be reversed. We need to get way more and pay way less. 2K is in a bad spot right now, where with each passing year, the player base dwindles sooner and sooner throughout the annual cycle. And I'm watching it happen right before my eyes, but 2K thinks that whatever business tactic they're practicing seems to be working. And it surely is in a certain perspective, because they continue to break sales records, but I think that's gonna peak and plateau faster than we know. Cross-platform gaming. It is past due time. Damn near all multiplayer online games have cross-platform gaming. But considering the idea of 2K introducing cross-platform gaming, looks like, especially if they try to do it soon, to me seems like it will be an absolute nightmare, because 2K servers are so crappy they could barely handle the player base on each person's respective platforms. I mean, come on, y'all. 2K can't even have an event going on. An event could be going on in the event center, and you guys are lagging or experiencing a high level of latency when you go into the rec center. You would think two separate servers, but no. that event center server somehow affects your gameplay in the rec center. And we are past due time. 2K needs to stop making two different games. There's a misconception from the player base that thinks that 2K is kind of stretched thin, and I just want to clear up that misconception. 2K has limitless amounts of resources. And if you don't know, Visual Concepts Austin handles the development for the current gen version of the game, and the old development team that's been working on 2K for years handles the next gen development of the game. So the only difference here from year to year is that the 2K devs just gain more experience, and it doesn't feel like it for us as a player base. More than 20 years developing the game, and it feels like they're a brand new development team, disconnected from the player base year by year, eliminating the fun factor. And the 2K player base has to be the most patient and loyal player base in gaming, because with each passing year, we're here to devote our time and energy for 2K games. No squads in the rec center. Folks have been pleading for no squads rec for the absolute longest time. I feel your pain. If you're out there running with randoms, I highly recommend that you guys consider joining our Discord. 25,000 members strong, 25,000 players for you to build some chemistry with. Stop running with randoms, join our Discord. The link for Discord will be in the description below. But if you're out there going into the rec center by yourself to run with randoms, I know it's a nightmarish experience, especially when you go up against a squad. A lot of players in the 2K community feel like if you're gonna squad up, might as well go into Pro-Am. No squad rec is a great option for players that just want to get a quick 5v5. Players are like, well, if my team's a mess, I want to play against a mess. I don't want to play with a mess against an organized team. I get it, y'all. And what do you guys think about ranked leaderboards? I think ranked leaderboards will always serve as a good thing. It gives players something to reach for, especially considering that 2K has diminished the value of what it means to hit legend. Some additional things that I would personally like to add is shot timing, and those shot timing fluctuations need to be removed. I personally feel like 2K needs to go back into these animations, remove these certain animations that are tied into the impact engine, where you guys lose control of your player and 2K kind of takes over in an animation, and you have to wait for it to play out before you, the player, regains control. Something like a clamp up animation where you lose control, you and the defender lose control, or going for a dunk attempt and turning it into a layup, losing control of your players for 1 to 3 seconds, giving the control to 2K and letting their animation play out. I know 2K did this for the sake of realism and simulation, but it just doesn't feel good when you out there thinking, I didn't even queue up that animation. What are we doing here? If we go back to different versions of 2K throughout the years, from 2K16, 2K17, 2K19, and 2K20, and take bits and pieces from each one of those 2Ks, those successful type of mechanics that just worked really well, improving gameplay. Take the things out of those games that made 2K great and put all those things together for NBA 2K24. I know it sounds easier said than done, but if any development team has enough experience with their annual release game, the 2K development team has that. And year by year, the player base is growing more and more impatient. It's like we're just headed in the right direction, and a lot of folks feel like 2K, you just need to make this slight little adjustment and the game will be absolutely amazing. 2K ends up making a completely different adjustment like they did with the season 4 update and completely ruining the whole experience overall. 2K23 went through extreme highs and extreme lows. And the only thing that I can personally gather from these type of changes in one annual release, one annual cycle, is that the 2K dev team is disconnected with their player base. If I forgot anything, or if you guys want to sound off on changes that need to happen ASAP on 2K23 and changes that must happen for 2K24, sound off in the comment section below. Will you guys be purchasing 2K24 after your experience on 2K23? I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K23 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like, drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.